Alrighty, so today in our PLC meeting, we're going to have some professional development led by Mrs. Taslin. So at this point, if you'd like to turn off your cameras, you may. She's going to be recording this and putting it onto her website. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harding. Good morning. As you know, after conducting a needs assessment across the board, it was pretty much that most of you were desperately needing and wanting some more assessment tools to help aiding with our virtual learning. And so because of this, we decided to provide this professional development assessment on assessment tools for School City, which is an online formative assessment tool. So hopefully by the end of this training, you will know how to create higher level thinking questions with easy access to the standards in order to determine a student's growth and success. And at the same time, it will provide you with easier insight to your virtual learners, as well as an engaging formative assessment for your face-to-face learners. So we will go ahead and get started. If you will open up your internet browser and type the following in the address bar as I read it. It's https //suite period schooicity.com/prod10/SC/LONG dot. Okay. Did everybody get that? Okay. And then you can push enter. Okay. And then at this point, as you know, I've previously given you guys instructions. And so you can just follow along with that. And I will play a video. And then you can type the username and password that I previously given you along with the instructions. And then I have made you step-by-step instructions. And then you can follow along with that the whole time. And hopefully those instructions will guide you the whole entire way. And then at the culmination of the video, I'm going to ask that you log into the link that I'm going to send you after the video and after this PD session. And then fill out the quizzes and answer the short evaluation on the entire professional development. And then that will help me and administration determine what we can do better for next time. So do you have any questions about anything so far? No? Okay. So from this point forward, again, just follow the link, follow the video, and then hopefully at the end, you will be able to create your own 5-question assessment on School City. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch the video and follow the directions. Today we're going to learn how to use a program called School City. This user-friendly program allows teachers to create higher-level thinking questions with easy access to those oh-so-important standards. I'm going to walk you through the creation of a short 5-question checkup quiz. Sound good? Let's get started. First, you'll open your web browser of choice and type in the following address: https://suite.schoolcity.com/prod10/SC/LONG in the address bar and press enter. For the purpose of today's training, I'm going to type the word LONG at the end of the URL because that's the name of our school district. Other school systems will obviously change the URL to match whatever is given to them by their administrators. Once the home page comes up, a username and password is required in order to move on. Once your district purchases the software for the program, they will give each staff member his or her own individual login information. At this point, I will log in with my information in order to move forward with the tutorial. Click on the Assessments box from the home page and then choose Create Assessments. This will give you more options to choose from. You are going to choose the Item Bank tab because this will allow you to start from scratch with creating your assessment. This step is where you choose where you are going to store your assessment, the name for your assessment, the subject, and when students are going to take the assessment. For this particular tutorial, I'm going to store my quiz under My Assessments so only I can access it. However, under normal circumstances, I would normally check the School Assessment tab so the quiz could be shared with my coworkers. Next, you will give your assessment a name. Since I'm creating a practice quiz, I'm going to name my assessment Review Quiz. Once you've named your quiz, you will choose your subject. For the purpose of this training, I've chosen ELA. Next, select whether you are scheduling all students to take the assessment at the same time, scheduling students by grade level, etc. Once you've made your selections on this page, click Save and then Next. You will select all the standards in which the students will be tested. As you can see here, every single language arts standards is listed. If you had chosen math as your subject, the math standards would be listed, science, the science standards, and so on. When you click on a specific standard, for example, reading informational, every grade level will pop up. You will then click on the grade level for which you are creating the assessment. In my case, I'm going to click grade 4. As soon as you do this, every RI standard is going to appear to the right. The item number is going to appear in green. And this will tell you how many questions there are for each particular standard. For example, if you look at the first standard for RI 1, it tells you there are 215 questions for inferencing. For this review quiz, I'm going to select RI2 and focus on main idea. Once you've selected all of the standards for your assessment, once again, click Save and then Next. The next page is where you actually choose the questions for your assessment. There are several features at the top of the page that can help you narrow down your questions. However, for this type of quick assessment, those features aren't necessary. Just to show you an example, if you look at the boxes that are checked right here that say items used, not used, and passages used and not used, this will eliminate any passages or questions that have been used in any other test given at all during the school year, so your students do not see it twice. Another quick feature to point out is right here where it shows you the number of items versus passages. This particular item bank has 95 passages with 172 questions. One last thing to notice before I begin adding questions to my assessment is over here to the far left of the screen. If you look at the standard listed in black, there is a 0 beside it in red. Once I begin adding questions, that number will change based on the number of questions I add. This is important to pay attention to as you continue adding questions because you don't want to add too many of one particular standard if you have more than one. So I'm going to begin adding questions to my quiz. The default is set to just show you the questions and not the passages. So in order to see both, you will need to click on the Passages tab at the top right here. This will show you the passages and every question it has with it. Since the standard is already narrowed down for me, it's easy and all I've got to do is find a passage to my liking. If you notice right here, it tells you the first passage, a berry healthy drink, has a total of 3 questions for the standard that I chose. But there are also 10 questions for the other 4th grade ELA standards if I'm interested in those. Let's scroll down and keep looking. So I think I like the second passage. A camping how-to for kids is pretty neat. I like the fact that it has a diagram for the camping equipment, and it explains in detail in the passage for the kids. So I'm going to choose this one. All I have to do is check the box where it says item name, and it automatically inserts it into my quiz. I want all 3 of these questions in my quiz, so I'm going to do the same thing for the next 2 questions in this passage. By the way, if you notice the standard I mentioned earlier that had a red 0 next to it, now has 3 since I have added 3 questions to my assessment. I'm going to scroll down and continue looking for the last 2 questions for the quiz. The passage across open space has 2 questions that I like and think will fit in with the type of review quiz I'm putting together for my students. So again, I'm going to check the box next to item name next to those 2 questions, and it will automatically insert them into my quiz. Now that I have my 5 questions, I'm going to click Save and then Next. This page is an overview of your assessment. From left to right, it tells you the number of the item, the standard, the item name and ID, which is automated by the program, the correct answer of the question, how many points each question is worth, which again is automated by the program, the passage name, the difficulty level, and the DOK level of each question. Towards the top of the page, you will see a button that says Online Preview. If you click on this, it will show you exactly what the students will see. You can just click Exit Full Screen to go back to your original screen. The Test Booklet button will give you an option to print a copy of the assessment for your records. The Summary button takes you to another page that you can print, and it gives you a lot more detail. It gives you the question, the answer, and the rationale for which the answer was chosen. When you're finished with this page, click Save and Next. This page does not serve any purpose for this training, so we will continue by clicking the green Skip Performance Level tab at the top of the page. The last page is the setup page where you will create your administration window, meaning you can determine the dates your students will be able to log in and take the assessment. Since this is just a practice quiz, I'm going to leave everything to its default settings for now, which most of these items stay the same anyway. Click Save, and then Publish. Once you click the Publish button, this screen will pop up asking if you wish to be taken to advanced settings or if you're done. Under normal circumstances during the school year, I would click the green tab to go to the advanced settings because this is where I would input my students' accommodations such as extended time, read aloud, screen magnifier, etc. Unfortunately, however, because it is summertime and I do not have any classes set up, it will not allow me to go to the advanced settings. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to click the blue No Thank You, I'm Done tab. On this screen, you can see your final published assessment, the start and end dates, and the status. You have now completed creating your assessment. If you click the Assessments tab at the top of the page, and then the Launchpad tab, it will take you back to your homepage where you can assign it to your students once your class is created. One last thing I want to mention is once the students take the assessments, there's this handy dandy reports folder in the middle of your screen. If you click on this tab, it will bring you to several kinds of data reports based on the assessments your students just took. If you click on Other Reports, and then Class Roster Report, and then the Predefined tab at the top, it will give you an option to take you straight to your test results, which then breaks it down into each standard and even tells you which standard the students mastered and did not master. The feedback cards are for you to print out and send home to the parents, explaining the same information as the test results. That's about all there is for a basic tutorial of creating a School City assessment. School City, like most apps and software programs, will become more familiar to you the more you use it. I hope this was helpful to you and provided you with insight for a way to use a great new program for assessing your students with an engaging formative assessment.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.